Welcome everybody to Facebook Live. This is Trainer Joe. Today we're talking about food. Makes a great servant, but a terrible master. I was at Red Lobster with family recently, and out come the Cheddar Bay biscuits. Talked about this not too long ago, but let's look at it this way. And some of the people at the table were wanting to lose weight, yet the Cheddar Bay biscuits just were amazing looking and smelling, and so they ate them. Why are you eating a Cheddar Bay biscuit if you're trying to lose weight? Well, because you like the way it makes you feel, right? When I'm sitting here at Red Lobster, even if I want to lose 30 or 40 pounds, and they sit these Cheddar Bay biscuits down, I've decided I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight. Why am I going to eat that? Because you're not the master, you're the servant. And food is a terrible master, but it's basically your master. It's going to determine what you do rather than you determine what you're going to do. We'd like some more over here, please. These biscuits are gone. Hunger is normal. It's a legitimate desire, but when it's out of control, we're going to have a problem. And just look around. It's so unusual for a person to really control that it's almost like forget the idea of even doing that. I heard a preacher one time, he said, I'm about 90% all into health. He said, but about 10% of the time I just say, do whatever you want to do, it'll all work out. And that's not an unusual thought or way of doing it, but think about it for a minute. What if you just let your 4-year-old decide 10% of the time what you're going to do? And that's what we do with eating. We're like, I do good most of the time. And I'll tell you what, a 300-pound person is doing a lot of things right. I've never met a 300 or even a 400-pound person that's talking to me about their weight where they're not doing a lot of things right. I'm sorry, that ain't going to get it. It ain't going to get it. If you are a serial murderer and you're proud of yourself because you're down to 1 a month, that's still not good. And we do that with food. It's like, well, surely I can just let it all hang out every now and then. Well, how's that working for you? It's like you got an angel on this side, the devil on this side, and you're like, well, I only listen to the devil one day a week. I let the devil run things. Who's the master here and who's the servant? Just look around. People don't want to think that they can control this. Whoever makes you eat anything, this is always something that you're making a decision on. And what it's coming down to is we exalt this feeling that we get from eating the Cheddar Bay biscuit or the South Lime donut. Oh my goodness. The thought of not eating these things. Well, when we become indifferent to the negative health effects that we're getting because we're basically worshiping this feeling. I want this feeling. Do you need the donut? Do you need the biscuit? By no means. You do not need it at all. No more than you need a cigarette. But we sit there and we rationalize and we have this debate in our head about why it makes sense to eat whatever it is you're about to eat. Why are you eating that? The hunger is a legitimate desire, but when we let that run wild, out of control, we're going to have a problem. Think about it a minute, because obviously I'm working with people all the time that are trying to lose weight. And when we start talking about things they like and the idea that they're going to go a while without eating it, I like to press it a little bit and say, well, what if you never were going to eat that again in your life? Let's say a donut. Never again you're going to have that in your life. Does that upset you? Why is that so upsetting to us? If it's going to mean I'm going to get to a healthy weight, live years longer, feel better about myself, wear the clothes I want to wear, be a better example to my family and those looking to me for help, being more productive in basically everything I do. Why is it so bizarre to us the thought of not eating chips or bread or candy? All those things are fine. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about who's in control. Is food your servant or your master? When you can't say no to it, it's your master. When you've got to have this wonderful thing, this cake, this pie, this South Lime donut or Spalding donut, gotta have one. You're no longer in control, it's controlling you. And we just don't understand, why would I deprive myself of this? Well, why not? What is it getting you by giving in to this desire to feel? The food is not the problem, it's the feeling that we want. I've got to have this feeling. Those biscuits are sitting on the table. I would much rather feel the way I'm going to feel if I eat these than the way I feel right now. And that's the same with a cigarette, a drink, a drug. Your issue is not your metabolism, it's not your hormones, it's not your family history. It's you being controlled by the biscuit rather than you being in control. By the way, I think sometimes it's challenging because somebody that's overweight might feel like they're being judged by their appearance. For the record, I don't think it's ever appropriate to judge someone by their appearance. I don't. I do think that if you weigh 200 or 300 or 400 pounds, you had to eat enough to weigh that. And I think there is a lot of people that are living in denial and that make excuses for their weight when usually it is simply they're being controlled. They're not in control. There certainly are people that are the right weight that have that problem too. But you know what? That's really not the people that I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help people that are wanting to lose weight. And we are just hitting it very basic here. We're not going deep. We're just hitting it very basic. Hey, you're overweight and they're offering Cheddar Bay biscuits. Don't eat them. Well, what? Don't eat it. The point is you are a slave to this rather than you being in control of this. Well, what's wrong with the Cheddar Bay biscuit? You're overweight. You want to lose weight. You don't need it. Why are you eating it, guys? This is not that complicated. Why are you eating any of them? 3, 5, 10, 1. Why? Well, because I want to feel the way I'm going to feel if I eat it. But let's all agree, you don't need it, and food won't fix it. This ain't high tech. We're talking bare minimum. These things that have little or no actual nutritional value that you just got to have is because of this inappropriate relationship that we have with food. You are a temple, not a trash can. Well, you don't understand, Joe. You don't understand what I'm going through. You don't understand what's going on inside me. No, I don't, and I don't need to tell you this. You're going to be better off to stop eating after you've had enough all the time, rather than negotiating why it makes sense to eat the donut or the bread or the chip or the biscuit or grandma's special fancy fluting cake. You don't need it. You don't need a piece of it. You don't need a bite of it. You don't need the whole cake. You don't need to make Meemaw happy by eating it. You need to say, you know what? I'm not going to eat it. All right. It's a little bit like when we were babies and we're crying and Mama comes in and gives us a cookie. I don't need a cookie. I got a wet diaper. You know, we're trying to use food to solve other things. You don't need the food. Now, we've been trained and it's not easy and it's the way our culture is and it's just what's wrong with it? Nothing wrong with it. I'm going to eat it. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not breaking any laws, so we eat it. That's not fixing it. But we're used to trying and we continue to do that. You may need something, but you don't need a biscuit. And you don't need the cake. I can tell you that. Hey, we got a free event coming up tomorrow night. If you're listening live, it's tomorrow night at Strong Shop at 6:30. You are welcome to come. It's totally free. Why don't you come? And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some testimonies. We're going to have some refreshments. Did I say it's free? 6:30 to 8. Come on over, bring the crew. And we'll help you train your brain and transform your body. God bless. Have a great week.